despite all of my vlog videos that I made at Nebula Realms and everything, talking to you guys, I never actually talked about what happened with Nebula Realms and why it was shut down and what I think, stuff like that. I never really did that. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have had a good day. And I hope you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment, and enjoy these videos that I do. And all my content is real. I don't edit anything, and I'm not afraid to make mistakes and fix them. And like with that video, what happened earlier when I was trying to do the first video, I messed up. It's just a mistake that happened. But anyway, let's proceed. Now, what happened with Nebula Realms? Let's see. We had the fams. The fams were always on that game. They were always beefing. They were always arguing, always fighting, always threatening to hack people, lying about hacking. They were fighting each other. Like MHM, for an example. MHM was a fam with 1,000 members, they said, that was on Nebula Realms at that time. I remember when I first got on Nebula, there was communities on PlayStation 4. You can actually create a community and everything like that. And I remember joining this community where TGE, MHM, and ERS and 3W included were all allies. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that. And that was the crazy part. But anyway, the fams were the main issue. They would be arguing, they would be beefing, they would be fighting, threatening to hack each other offline. They would be your typical internet warriors, basically. If that's how you really want to put it. They were your typical net warriors. Now, there were a lot of fams on there, but the main ones that were working together, but people thought they were beefing, it was MHM, um, TGE. Before TGE stopped hanging out with MHM and they started having issues, there was ERS, 3W, there was TRM, I think was in that circle. But the point is, they all hung out with each other till they started beefing and saying they didn't F with one another. But then I came to realize years later that they really do hang out with each other, because TGE and MHM and 3W were at 3W's Hall of Fame ceremony on the game. I remember that like it was yesterday. And when I seen that go down, that let me know then that the times they were beefing with each other were probably fake. I mean, yeah, there were times when they actually beefed, but most of the time it was fake because they wanted to draw a crowd or probably wanted attention, Because MHM, they're known for wanting attention. They were known for always throwing up MHMTF or 3WTF or whatever the case may be. And they were known for that. And Nebula Realms was their hangout spot. It was their home. Usually at night. You couldn't catch them during the day often. But whenever I got on around 5, 6 o'clock, like right now, I would be on Nebula, and they would be there. And they didn't like me for some reason. It was like, because I knew the truth about them, and they just didn't like me for that. But the first time they didn't like me, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was for some kind of random reason. Now I see it's for a reason because I'm too real. It's because I don't do fams. I don't follow orders. I didn't just delete my friends because they weren't cool with them and they were gonna delete and block them. That didn't mean I was. It was like people in the fams were giving the leaders full control of their minds and their consoles, you might want to say. And these fams, they had all kind of rules. Shit you couldn't do, you could do. And wherever the fam was, you had to hang out with them. Friends were welcome to stand around, but not too close. It was kind of strange to me. Now, the fams were part of the issue that was there on Nebula. Now, not only the fams, there were your trolls, there were your name cloners, people that would clone your PlayStation ID. I had my PlayStation ID cloned a couple of times. I remember when I had my ID called MHM Royal, they had cloned that back when I was hanging around MHM like a little silly guy that I was then. They even cloned my YouTube name, which was Royal Black, which is my old YouTube name I used to have before I switched to Capricorn Gamer. Besides, Royal Black, I felt like it was just fake anyway, so I wanted to do something that was more real and described me. I'm a Capricorn and I'm a gamer, so put two and two together. Um, but But yeah, there were name stealers. People had their name cloned, including Diamond Dog. She had her name cloned. Um, there was Cold Raven. He had his name cloned. Bad Girl Alice. He had his name cloned. Yes, it's a him. He's part of the LGBTQ bullshit, but I ain't even gonna get into that. But the point is, a lot of people had their name cloned by the name cloners. As far as the trolls, they just run around to troll you and try to make you mad, and they would probably try to copy your status or copy your avatar's clothes, stuff like that. They would always try to do that. And that annoyed me at one point. I just learned to block them and put them on mute. Then there were the weirdos that were always trying to bug the females, like Tinny, Sumfer. There was a dude named Churl. There was Famous Amos, and lots more names. But Famous Amos, he was usually just talking about females, and he would pretend that he had a wife and everything. Really, he had an account that he made called Mrs. Amos, but it was just him on there. Amos was a nut for that one. And Tenny, he always ran up to women, trying to flirt and get women to date him and everything. He was trying to date Pixels, and he would be doing all kind of inappropriate things, sending pictures. Terrell, he was just being a little sissy. He tried to fight women. He was trying to argue and this and that. Always had to tell him shut up. Speaking of women, there was one woman that I was talking to on there. Her name was Cheeky Panda, and Cheeky, she really was cheeky. She used to hang out with Cheryl and everything, and but she acted kind of strange though. But anyway, there was just a little bit of the trolls and a little bit of the fams. That was part of the reason, the biggest part of the reason why the Nebula Realms was bad. Then you just had your typical assholes, really, that just want to just fight for no reason half the times. Like Eternal Nemesis. Eternal Nemesis, he was a nut. But that's everything that happened with the Nebula Realms. You had fams, you had assholes, and you had trolls. Then you had LBGTQ up in there trying to run the place with their Pride Month chants, dressing up as fags and drag stuff and trying to call themselves real women and stuff. And you had that part, which I didn't like. Like Grand Negus, there was a dude named Grand Negus, but he was a dude dressed as a female and everything, acting like he was a real woman and everything. Sweet Candy Crush is another dude who was trying to be a woman. I found it just strange activity. It was all strange to me. Then you had You're a bunch that missed PlayStation Home, but they were on Nebula always talking about how they missed PlayStation Home. Oh, I miss home. I want to be there at home. I want to go back to home. I wish I could. And I would be like, bruh, shut up. Nobody got no time for you complaining about a game that ain't around no more. But now I bet they're complaining about Nebula Realms being shut down, crying on Adam Universe, talking about they missed this game and they wish they could play Nebula Realms and how they wish they was back there, back in time, and just little crybabies. Then you had people like Artiz. Now Artiz, he was the one that was always talking to teenagers, trying to get news and stuff like that. Then you had your freak people like Artiz, like you had Tubi being the bastard running around doing all that weird stuff, talking about he wanted to do lesbian type stuff and he was a dude. And then you had weirdos like Finn Balor on there. This dude really loved WWE so much he made his PlayStation name called Finn Balor. And Finn Balor really did date a 16-year-old. He dated a 15-year-old, sent dudes out and everything, tried to marry her and everything like that in real life. And when I found that out, I really had to report that guy to the authorities because he was being weird. So you had all kind of things on there, and people, including the perverts, like who I just talked about. Then you had people like Mr. Rock, because I'm not going to call him a pastor, because he's a hypocrite, he's a false prophet, and he's not no real pastor. He was always doing church and everything, and him and his church would be on Nebula rounds, running around there trying to preach and everything. But when you're in a game, preaching is the last thing on your mind. People aren't going to get anything out being preached to about God in the game. I mean, what are you thinking? Then you had your Jehovah's Witnesses on there as well. What was her name? One of them was Tara. And Tara, she was one that was always smoking weed, claiming she was a Jehovah's Witness, and she would go around and do the same thing. Like the fake pastors was doing and everything. I had to block her out because she was being weird. But anyway, that's everything that happened with Nebula Realms. Not only that, it had errors, but it wasn't as bad as it was before it shut down. Like when Nebula Realms first started, things were cool. You didn't have too many errors. With each update, errors did get a little bit crazier each time. Like it would just give you an error to where you had to just restart the game. That was about it. But the errors weren't that bad until now, where you had to restart just to see everybody or go to the wardrobe. And that's one thing I didn't like about that was the errors, honestly. And that's how many things that I just described that was happening on Nebula. You had the errors, you had the arrogant fans, you had the pedos, slash perverts, you had the trolls. That was number 4. Oh yeah, there's a lot. And Nebula Realms had a lot of issues. I'm not even gonna count it on my fingers, but they did. And why I went there all the time, I don't know. I mean, I had friends that played there all the time, and they were always hanging around, and they were always wanting to see me on the game at times, so I would go there whenever I knew they were on, and I would go and chill with them. But when they got off, I would get off like probably 15, 20 minutes after they got off. And you know what's funny about the fams? The fams said they own Nebula Rounds, and that they ran things around there, and that was their domain, and that they had took over each server they was in. And you know, I kind of laughed at them because Nebula Realms was real life to them. But now that Nebula Realms has shut down, I wonder, where are you guys gonna go now? MHM, where are you going now? Hmm? Tell me where you going now. Me myself, I don't even care about Nebula Realms. I was just there because it was going down, and I just wanted to be around and mess with them before I went down. And I'm glad that I was there. But on top of that, I'm just glad that the days of the fams are over. And I ain't gotta deal with them. But I'm quite sure they're gonna go down there to Adam's universe and probably beef with the Ravers and the Classic Adams or something. Probably be going at it with them because they ran Adam Universe for years, and I don't think they're gonna just allow any fans just to come up there and try to take over their servers. I mean, cause I'm quite sure Classic Adams are still there, being the fact that Adam Universe ain't going nowhere. But my point is, they're still gonna be sad, and I guess Adam Universe is gonna be their new home for now until something else comes out. Uh, really, I think it's funny. I really think it's funny. I forget for talking like that. I'm just being silly right now, but I really think it's funny. They said they were gonna be on Nebula Realms forever, but I guess forever is not happening now, is it? Now the other part that happened on Nebula Realms is that you had this dude Judge Truth, and he was running around running his mouth about everybody with no regrets, thinking that Karma wasn't gonna find him and get him back for what he's done. Judge Truth, he was always looking for clout on there, you know. This dude named Farai Killer, so you had those kind of people. It was just a poisonous game altogether. So Nebula Realms being shut down is a gift to me, and I'm happy. And to those that are mad that Nebula Realms is shut down, you ain't missing nothing, so you can cry all you want to. But I just want y'all to know that Nebula Realms ain't around no more. And you know what? And to celebrate Nebula Realms not being around no more in the end of fams, this is what we gonna do. I got a little something. Let me see what we got. We gonna get some bubbly. Check this out. Let's get a little drink. To the end of Nebula Realms and to something new, and to the end of fams. Toast to that. Cheers. Like my little bubbly. Let's get another one. Let's do another toast. Toast to the fams being dead forever. Dead fams. And you know what's funny is people tried to deny that Nebula Realms was going anywhere, and I found it funny. I even notified them that Nebula Realms was getting shut down, but they didn't want to hear it. They were just like, "Oh no, it's not going nowhere." And look what happened. It did. Oh, I broke the glass. Hold on. Now, before I drink this last shot, let's do a toast to never seeing fams again. Now, let's see. Yes, and then you had your nab daters. They were the baddest part of that game as well. Always doing fake ass game weddings and stuff. Putting married as a status on there, knowing they were never going to get married in real life or even see each other in real life. I'm going to tell you like this: the married status is for people who are actually married. And y'all shouldn't have that as your status on no type of game. Or even call yourself husband or wife or anything like that. Because to me that was just ridiculous and weird and strange activity. I remember there was a time when somebody actually invited me to a little game wedding on there. I was skeptical. I was like, I got to go. So I stood there. I didn't even say nothing. And I just stood there. And when it was over, I left. Because the whole thing was stupid. Like I said, why would I stick around for that? But I really didn't care. Like I said, I stood there and then I left. I wasn't trying to be bothered with that fake stuff. But that was another bad part too. People were always dating each other on Nebula rounds, and the fams were worse at it because, like I said in my videos before this one, Miss Savage Queen was dating some of her members, including female members like Haven. Haven was one of them women that Miss Savage Queen dated. She might still be currently dating her, but Star Wars was another one. Star Wars, Devil Girl or whatever her PlayStation name was before. And that's sad. But then they had the audacity to tell everybody else to get a life, and their life was on the game, being with their hubby and wives on the game. Like Wolfie is darkness and Reaper is darkness. They dated on the game for probably about 10 years now, and they never even met in real life. One's in the UK and one's out here in the US. There's some sad ass people, I tell you that. Then you had your little net thugs running around acting like they all that, wearing bandanas and doing weird stuff. You had people like Five Star. He was a liar to the max. You had liars on there as well, like Five Star. He claimed he wasn't a part of no fam and everything like that. And just before Nebula shut down, I see him wearing MHM tags that say for about 3 weeks now. And I was like, oh, so you are a part of the fam. You've been lying. I pretty much knew he was lying. Then you had people like Boss London that was always doing shit, starting shit. He played as a female avatar just to use guys for money. Then he promised people he was going to give them money, but turned on them and said, oh, they're begging for this and that. I didn't offer them that. Really, he wasn't going to offer you anything. He was just trying to offer a way to start drama. That's what the hell he was trying to do. That's what the hell he was trying to do. But I'm not going to keep y'all for too long. Oh, I am not. Oh, and then you had your nab prostitutes that play on the game. You had girls shaking their asses on the camera for artists and a couple other dudes. Even females shaking ass for females and dudes shaking ass for dudes. And they were doing it for PlayStation cards, and they would be out there on Nebula rounds acting like they were hard. And like there was one called Everybody Loves Angel, and she was always shaking her butt for money and everything. I met the dude. I exposed his ass in a video I did a long time ago. I don't even remember which video it was. I think it was on my old channel before it was taken down, but I had a video exposing that dude a long time ago in his little operation that he wanted me to keep a secret because he knew he was going to go to jail for it. But anyway, I'm not going to hold you up for too much longer, but that's just everything that happened on Nebula in a few sentences. But like I said, I'm glad Nebula Realms has shut down because there was too much dirt on there. People were acting like they lost their minds, taking the game serious here and there, you know. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Merry Christmas.